How's it going, YouTube? Guy in the backseat again. Here with another problem I've been finding in DN and another video to explain some stuff. I actually didn't get one of the links. I'm mildly aggravated, but I'll explain it as best I can. If you aren't familiar, this is the Koa'ki Meiru symbol, or Kokai, or Koa'ki, or whatever you want to pronounce it as. Point is, it's Koa'ki Meiru. Basically, they are a group of cards that tried so hard to be good and ran into problems, and the deck is or was mildly uncompetitive for the longest time. I actually had a very die-hard love for this deck. I built the whole thing, and when my computer bag got stolen, I lost the whole thing. So no profit out of that old deck, but I do have basically something so people understand it. The Koa'ki Meiru monsters basically center around three big baddies. These three big baddies are Koa'ki Meiru Guardian, Koa'ki Meiru Wall, and Koa'ki Meiru Sandman. These three monsters are an entire cornerstone of a deck, which is called Rockstone. A lot of players have played it and don't know what they're playing. A lot of players have seen it and don't like it, and a lot of players just play around it and don't give a crap. But point is, Rockstone utilizes these three monsters to the highest degree. You have Guardian, Wall, and Sandman, all of which have identical stats: 1900 attack, 1200 defense, Earth, level 4 rocks. And these four boys will rock your world. Bad jokes are encouraged right now. So Koa'ki Meiru Guardian is pretty much the MVP of this deck. He is, by lack of a better definition, an optional Doom Caliber Knight. Now, a lot of players, this is the link that I don't have. A lot of players don't understand how powerful Doom Caliber Knight is, but also how vulnerable Doom Caliber Knight is. Doom Caliber Knight states when an effect monster's effect would activate, you tribute him and negate the effect. So and then you destroy the card. So basically, Doom Caliber Knight can stop a Blackluster Soldier when he goes to attack for a second time, when he goes a Cataster whenever he goes to attack, anything pretty much. Doom Caliber Knight can stop. It's ridiculous. He's so cool, but a lot of players have also found the flaw in Doom Caliber Knight. If your opponent discards an effect veiler after you summon a Doom Caliber Knight, he blows up because his effect is not optional. He just negates the next effect to hit the table. And the fun scenario, which is why our name is Doom Veiler Games, is that if you have Doom Caliber Knight on the field and your opponent has a Doom Caliber and you have like three and they have three, and either player discards an effect veiler, they all go away. It doesn't matter, they all just disappear because one effect triggers to negate the other effect, 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 and it continues until they all blow up because they all have to be tributed for the effect to go off. So, Doom Caliber Knight, awesome card, but not optional. Koa'ki Meiru Guardian, extremely optional. You see, each of these also have a sustenance cost, which is the end phase of the turn while they're face up. You have to reveal a rock or they die. So you do have to have rock deck, essentially. The whole deck needs to be rock. But you have Koa'ki Meiru Guardian, who says, and his effect reads verbatim, you can makes it optional, tribute this card to negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy that monster. So, while the effect reads slightly vague, the effect also reads identical to Doom Caliber Knight, which is that he negates the effect of an effect monster and he destroys it. He negates the activation. So, Koa'ki Meiru Guardian can be utilized to negate an effect veiler or a Max C or a Sangan or a Watt Dragonfly or a uh, other cards. Gores, he can stop Trag. He is a damage step thing. He can stop Honest. He can stop anything because a effect monster's effect is activated. So in any of those scenarios, their effect triggers to activate, he blows it up. No matter what, it doesn't matter. So anybody out there that is confused, Koa'ki Meiru Guardian says no to all monsters in the game with effects. You summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal, I blow it up. You summon a tomb, detach for Red Eyes Darkness Metal, I destroy a tomb before Red Eyes Darkness Metal summons. I attack a Sangan, negate it. I attack a Raikou, negate it. I attack as long as he tributes himself. So granted, you're giving up the field presence, but he can negate any effect of a monster. It's so ridiculously annoying to see people argue with me time and time and time and time again. Koa'ki Meiru Guardian, literally the way he's worded, while vague, the last effect is an optional thing, meaning that if the monster is still on the field or was ever on the field, it dies anyway. So you can negate the Gores, and then the Gores just goes to grave because the Gores is summoned, which is his effect. But Koa'ki Meiru Guardian says, no, you can't gorge me. Same with track. So all these things considered, just remember, Koa'ki Meiru Guardian stops it. If it's a monster effect, he can stop it. He can even stop Doom Caliber Knight. Essentially, like if he summons and then you go to activate an effect monster's effect, Doom Caliber Knight goes to blow up. To negate your monster's effect, you can negate the Doom Caliber with Guardian. So, anyway, the other cornerstone of this deck is Koa'ki Meiru Wall and Sandman. These are your spell and trap card. Hate. These cards are so good. I mean, you have Wall that says you can negate a spell card. Same scenario as Guardian because he is able to use during damage step. You can activate him in response to a Lance. You can activate him in response to a Chalice. You can activate him in response to the Forbidden Garments, which just came out. All these spells, you can negate a Rush Recklessly. You can negate a uh, whatever that is, reliable guardian, like he can stop it. Koa'ki Meiru Sandman, same scenario, except Sandman of all the cards is the only one that is vulnerable because counter traps exist. You cannot negate a Solemn Warning with a Sandman. You cannot negate a Solemn Judgment with a Sandman, a Magic Drain, a Seven Tools, a Negate Attack. You can't stop those with Sandman because Sandman is spell speed 2. Counter traps are the fastest thing in the game, which is spell speed 3. So, aside from counter traps, these three cards can say no to every effect in the game. They are a quick effect. They are an effect that can be triggered during damage step, after damage step, any point during the turn. If your opponent chains Call the Haunted to the end phase of your turn, it doesn't matter. Koa'ki Meiru Sandman can go. So, like same with their MST, same with, their freaking whatever, Justice of Prophecy, I don't know, whatever. Something that goes to the grave to activate its effect doesn't matter. Guardian says no. Damage step says no. Anything but counter traps. So, the reason why this deck is actually seeing play again now is because of Block Golem. This little jerk is so amazing because he's literally Rescue Rabbit for that deck out of the graveyard and targets any 2 level 4 or lower rock type monsters in the graveyard except himself, special summons the targets, and their effects cannot be activated on the field that turn. So, the good play would be to summon a Guardian, and if you have another Guardian on the field, or say a Wall, you can negate 2 cards, then at your main phase 2, summon a Block Golem, in some way, shape, or form, pop the Block Golem and bring them back and immediately end your turn. Because if the opponent does not have an answer to these 2 summons, then next turn you have your field back up to par, where you can negate an effect and a spell and a trap again if you're lucky. These 3 on the board basically lock down an opponent so hard where they have to literally neg to make any headway with you. And you don't negate bad cards with Wall, but opening with a Wall will almost always ensure your opponent's on the ropes turn 1 because they can't activate Duality, 6 Sams can't activate United or Gateway or Dojo or any of their spells. I mean, Koa'ki Meiru Guardian turn 1 stops Tour Guide, stops Rabbit, stops everything. So if you guys have time to fully understand the Koa'ki Meiru Rock Stun deck, give it a try. The deck is actually pretty handy. Your own variants will, determine how successful it is. Right now, I'm going to be playing one today at a tournament down here in Tampa. So if you guys live here, which doubtful, look me up. All right. Anyway, guy in the back seat, Doom Valley Games. Hope this video was informational. Always love my Koa'ki Meirus. Hoping to get the other 2 dragons. because we already got Maximus, and I don't really count Drago as a dragon. But if he is, where's the third one? Just want to know because these are like dragons spinning around the core. So anyway, have a nice night.